So why did I begin making YouTube videos? You know, I had something traumatic happen in my life. I had something traumatic occur in my life. And basically that was what compelled me to want to start communicating a message. We'll just put it that way. My son passed away about a year ago. He was 15 years old and he was playing basketball on the basketball court, and he passed away right after a game with his friends. He just passed out on the court out of the blue. He did nothing like that had ever happened before, and he passed away. Kind of like the movie John Q almost, except he did actually pass away. So that was something, the first time in my life I ever had anything that traumatic happen. My oldest son, when he made his transition, I had never had anything occur like that in my life before. I'd had some, I've been through, a divorce before, and I had been through a business closing down before. I've been through some pretty, some pretty rough things, but never been through anything remotely close to that. People close to me had passed away before, but nothing like that. And so, ever since that happened, I just see the world differently now. I choose to see the world a whole lot differently now. And with choosing to see the world differently, a whole new perspective has become available to me. All new ideas are available to me. A whole new mindset is available to me now, with the changing of my perspective. I often say to people that when somebody wants to bring change about in their life, often the last thing that they will change is the way that they think about things. They'll take every action in the book. We'll take every action in the book when we're not enjoying our life, when something isn't going right. We'll divorce our loved ones. We'll change jobs, quit jobs. We'll do all kinds of things outside of ourselves. We'll find ourselves doing things that don't make us happy to get validation from other people. All kinds of things we find ourselves doing at a moment like that. And so when trauma came my way, again, because it was something that I couldn't necessarily change, like going out and getting a job. If you're not happy and you say, you know what, I'm not going to be happy until I get the job that I want, then all right, you're unhappy until you get the job that you want, and you're like, woohoo, I'm satisfied now, I'm happy, I got the job that I want, or or the relationship that I want, or whatever it is. But when someone passes away, what you want is something that you really can't have. It's nothing that you can go out and change. No amount of physical action that you take will change that circumstance, will change that condition. And so in a situation like that, you have to change what you're thinking in order to be able to deal with it in a productive manner. You don't have to necessarily change the way you're thinking about things in order to go out and get a new job or whatever. You can go out and exert enough physical effort to change your job if you want to. In other words, what I'm saying is, some things that we want, we can just go out and exert excuse me, we can just go out and exert physical action to get. And we say, I'm not going to allow myself to feel. I'm not going to allow myself to be in the emotional state that I want to be in until this thing comes into my life. And so we find ourselves not being happy now because we don't have what we want. We're going after what we want, and we say, I'm not going to be happy. I'm not going to be content until I get that thing. And then we end up getting the thing, and we're happy for a while. But then, we end up going back to how we're used to thinking, which is basically, I'm not happy with where I am. And so we got to go out and exert some more physical action to try to change our position, or try to change our condition, or try to change our situation again. And it's just this never-ending cycle of going out, exerting action, trying to change things outside of yourself, so that you can fix the way that you feel inside, basically. And we don't even realize that that's what it's about. We just think that the fulfillment is in the thing that we're chasing, the promotion that we're chasing, the relationship that we're chasing, the love that we're chasing, the situation, the health that we're chasing, whatever it may be. We think the fulfillment is in that thing. And so, again, one of the last things that will change when we desire change, one of the last things that we'll do is look at the situation differently. It's just change our perspective altogether on the situation. But when you're dealing with a situation that will not change, like someone passing away, hypothetically, like having a terminal illness or something, a loved one having a terminal illness or something, a child with a sickness or something to that effect, certain things are outside of you that you can't exert enough physical effort to change. And when that happens, the only thing you can do, if you want to get any peace from it, unless you want to just hurt, the only way you can get any peace from it is to look at it from a different perspective. I've learned in the event of him passing away that our beliefs are what determine how we see what's going on with us, how we see what's coming into our experience. What we believe about what's coming into our experience. I've realized that you can change your perspective on anything. I've realized that the truth does not hurt. You ever heard that old saying, the truth hurts? Well, I've learned that that's not true. I've learned that it's not the truth that hurts. It's holding myself in opposition to the truth that hurts. It's looking at things from a perspective of falsehood that hurts. The truth doesn't hurt. The truth is empowering. The truth is liberating. And so I gauge my beliefs and my perspectives from that vantage point now. If I'm looking at something that in a way that it hurts, either I'm looking at something that I shouldn't be looking at, I'm focusing on something I shouldn't be focusing on, or I'm focusing in a way that I shouldn't be focusing. But I've learned and I realized that it's your beliefs are the starting point of everything that you're experiencing. We're not just experiencing life randomly. Things aren't just randomly happening to me and randomly happening to you. Everything that's happening to you and to me and to everyone is in direct response to the things that life has caused them to ask for. And it is only your lack of awareness of that causes you not to understand the experiences when they come to you. That causes you to feel misery in an experience when you could be feeling joy. That's the only thing. It's just your beliefs. It's just your awareness, your lack of awareness that you are the cause of your life. Your beliefs are the cause of what is happening to you. Not necessarily what's happening to you, but the way you perceive what's happening to you. One man's trash is another man's treasure. Why is that? Because one man perceives it as trash and the other perceives it as treasure. The beautiful thing about beliefs, what I've learned, is that unlike the job that I want, or the house that I want, or the relationship, or the money, or all of those things, the health, all of those things that I kind of know unconsciously are outside of my control, the thing about my beliefs is they are in my control. The thing about your beliefs is they are in your control. As a matter of fact, your beliefs, your thoughts, these are the only things that you have sole control over. Name me one thing outside of yourself that you have control over. Go ahead. I'll wait. Nothing. The only thing we have control over in this world is what's going on in here, is us, is our thoughts, our beliefs, our consciousness, our awareness, right? And so once we understand that, then we start to ask ourselves questions like, why do I do what I do? Why do I think that it is the way that I think that it is? Why do I think it's like that? Why is it that I don't think it's another way, right? Do you realize that if you were a child raised in an environment where 5 different languages was spoken every day, and you were around that every day, do you realize that you would grow up speaking 5 different languages fluently? Why? Because that's what you're used to. You believe that that's what's possible. And so you kind of just go into it. You don't even think it's difficult to speak 5 different languages. That thought never enters your brain. And so you're able to speak 5 different languages just as fluently as a 7 or 8-year-old child as someone that's been, someone that's been studying it their whole life because of your beliefs. Whereas if you believe something like that is difficult, you probably won't ever take the initial steps to do it. And even if you did, it would be difficult. What you believe must be your experience. Not saying that you can't do it, not saying that you can't learn 5 different languages, but if you believe it's extremely difficult, then that must be what you're going to experience. That has to be what you're going to experience. The child that is not aware of the difficulty of that, the person, not just the child, the person that is not aware of those limitations doesn't experience them. You are the beneficiary of your own beliefs. That's the most practical way that I can say it. And so you must be choosy about what you believe. You cannot just go around believing what everyone believes. You cannot just go around looking at everything like everyone else looks at things. Because most people are probably not living the way that you want to live, feeling the way that you want to feel, and doing the things that you want to do. You are unique. And so you have to find your own way. You have to have your own voice. You have to have your own ideas. You have to have your own concepts. And sometimes you need permission to find that. Sometimes you need permission to find your own voice. Well, my son passing away was the permission that I needed to find my own voice. And we're in the information age. We're in the age of the internet. And so why not spread a message if I have something that I feel will uplift people? Because I feel that the only reason that a person would be unhappy is because they feel like they are not in control of their life. And not necessarily not in control of their life. What would cause a person to be unhappy mainly is they feel like they're not in control of how they feel, whether they're conscious of that or not. They're not in control of how they feel. And they're not in control of how they feel because they don't realize how they feel impacts what's going on outside of them. Instead, they let what's going on outside of them impact how they feel. And so my message is, you can have nothing and still feel like you have everything. You can have everything materially, physically, and for the most part, not even have to be scared about losing it. You don't have to put that much love and attention, not attention, but you don't have to hold on to it like we do. What's mine? Everything is mine. This is my car, my house, my this, my that, right? When we realize we don't have to have anything to feel like we have everything, we won't have to be bound up with holding on to what we believe is ours or what's mine, right? When we understand that